Okay, good evening, and thank you very much for those that said they can hear me and they can see my screen. If anybody can't hear me or see me, well, I suppose if you can't hear me, you can't hear me, but if anybody can't see my screen, if you could just put it on now. I know, Joe, did you say you had a problem, but hopefully you should be able to hear me and see the screen as well, which would be fantastic. Okay, so my name's Dan. My name's Dan Ingham. I'm the senior account manager at Pitch Hero, been with the business for a number of years now. We do these webinars quite regular on all different sorts of topics, from helping you get your season started and doing bits and pieces through to match fees and using the apps and things like that. So do appreciate you will all be at a different sort of level as well. So there is no right and wrong. The way I like to do this is nice and relaxed, nice and easy. We're going to go through some slides and some small videos first of all. We're then going to get rid of all that and we're going to go into a bit of a live demonstration as well. If you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to put it in the question box and I'll get to it at the end, because again, we may cover it, we may not, but then we'll go through it as well at the end. So without further ado, as I say, let's get started. And what we're going to talk about today is match fees. We all know about match fees, what we do. Some call them subs, some call them match fees. Again, all different sports are different. So let's get started. Oops. There we go. Okay, so points we're going to cover today. We're going to introduction to match fees. We're going to tell you how to set it up. And as I said, then we're going to show you as well. Select players and requesting payments, how members pay, and how to view and track payments, including some brand new updates as well that we've done in this last couple of weeks. Okay, so benefits of online payments and match fees. Now, if you go to the Pitch Hero Clubhouse, it will tell you, obviously, the 15 reasons why, but I've just picked 5 here, really, which I think are quite poignant in this moment in time, in the current world we live in, with the likes of COVID and handling things, and supposed to be going cash-free everywhere we go now. So, first one, really, increases revenue. And what I mean by that is you can see who has and hasn't paid. I know me as an ex-first team coach and manager, there's nothing worse than I write it down on a beer mat or something to somebody who can't pay. Then my jeans will get washed and it'll still be in there, or for whatever reasons I'll forget. So again, we all have those people at the club as well. If they can get away without paying, they will get away without paying. I think we all know who those people are at our clubs and things like that. It's quick and easy. Like you say, it's quick and easy, and requesting of payments, it can be done in a matter of minutes. You can track and record every payment. So again, like we just mentioned, you can see it there as well. You can process payments 24/7. So what you can do, Sunday night, Monday night, comes depending on what you want to do. You can go back in and request them, or give them a bit of a nudge to say, come on, your payments are still due. And again, reduce volunteer admin, no paper forms, no cash, no trips to the bank. I think, we'll all agree, me being involved in rugby for 35 years, we're all volunteers at the end of the day. We do it because of the love of sport we're in. We don't do it, for another reason, really. We just love that sport. We love being part of a club. Okay, so we mentioned again, cash in hand no longer works. Teams captains responsible for large amounts of cash, and we've all seen it, haven't they? They're walking around with a plastic bag, a see-through plastic bag full of notes and coins and change, and it just gets really frustrating. As we mentioned, members can easily get away without paying. It's difficult to keep track of who's what. And the one I always like that our marketing team have put in, really, captains often drink too much. And I must admit, I've been there as well at the bar, and they've also got a really good win against a local rival. And we've decided to buy a round for all the players out of the subs. Then a case of Sunday morning comes around, or whatever it may be, and you have to think, oops, we shouldn't have done that. I've got to now go to the treasurer and explain what's happened. Okay, so match fees. So again, you'll all know different things about the match fee. Some will have seen some of the stuff, some will have heard about it, read the feedback. It's been live now for over a year, and some of the feedback has been amazing. We look at some of the hockey clubs, Didsbury Hockey Club for a reason. Their words, it's revolutionised, what we've done and how easy it's been. Some of the cricket clubs have said it's saved them so much time now. It's extremely easy to use. It takes less than 5 minutes to set up. One thing we're saying as well, if you're still a little bit not sure about it, just trial it with one team, see how it goes. And I guarantee after that one team, they'll go, wow, how easy was that? That really was easy. Okay, so I'm going to show you a bit of a video now. As I say, this is what we launched about a year ago now. So as I said, there is 3 or 4 videos in this, but then we'll go on to the live demonstration, which again is going to help. Okay, so that was a video that we launched, obviously just to whet your appetite, a little bit about it, just seeing how it works, you know, whether walking into the changing rooms and things like that, how easy it really does become. Okay, what will you need to set this up? Okay, you need an app webmaster with access to match fees, coaches who've got team admin access and they can use a manager app, so that's coaches or captains, that should really say, and players and parents registered on the website and using the club app. Again, we're going to go through and I'm going to plug my mobile phone as well to give you a better understanding. Okay, so how do we set it up? Well, first of all, we need to set up a Stripe account. And the reason it's Stripe, because it's solely based on debit card, credit card, and Apple Pay. So we can't use Go Cardless, unfortunately. Excuse me, I got hiccups. It is going to have to be Stripe, which is debit card, credit card, and Apple Pay. We set the fees up for your teams and we start collecting the match fees. It really, really is that simple. Okay, another small video again, just regarding obviously setting up match fees, but we are going to do a live one of this. So again, we can go through that. So as you can see here, we're going into match fees. This dashboard layout has changed, but we will show you. Again, we're going to set up the Stripe account. And again, it just goes through, you know, obviously how that's going to work. Goes through here, setting it up. Again, so we've probably all got different amounts. So you're going to say maybe, for instance, a starter. There you go. So we're going to say a starter's playing, say, I don't know, £10 a student. So they put, this is where you put all the different amounts in that are possibilities within your club as well. Again, it will all become clear when we go through this as well. But as you can see, they're just changing all the amounts in here now, because I'm sure students and stuff pay less than what a normal senior player would. Again, we add the teams, which the match fees are appropriate to. Again, when we go through this, a live demo, again, we'll talk you through it and we'll explain again how to do that. And again, they're just going to go through now, finish the setup. It gives you, there you go. And there we are good to go. It really, really is that straightforward. Okay, selecting your team and requesting payment. Okay, so we're actually billing the players who actually paid. So again, if it's the juniors and things like that, they've got a parent-child account, we're billing the child, because don't forget as well, when we bill a child, it will bypass the child and go straight to the parent that's named on the account again. Or if it's a senior player, you just bill the senior player and it goes through to their club app. We can use 2 different ways. We can use a team selection, for instance. So if you're using team selection, you can use that. You can add the players manually, but again, that'll become more clear when we do the live demonstration again. And this can be done on the desktop or within the manager app. This is really designed to take pressure off people like webmasters and treasurers. It's designed to be done by the coach and the captain. So again, they have the manager app and they can do all that as well. Again, small video again. So basically, we're going to click play on this. So here we go in the manager app. It's going to go into the appropriate fixture. He's going to go into match fees at the bottom, as you can see there. No player selected, so he's going to add the players manually. He's just going to touch them here in the manager app. You can see them all going from the plus to the minus. There you go. He's just scrolling through nicely. There's the 11 players. He's now going to click on there. Now, this is where if we need to change the amount, what we set up at the beginning, we go into it. So as we can see there, we're putting people down as starters and subs, for instance. And you can see in the bottom left how much is exactly due to the club as well. So again, the captain goes in and changes that. You click send, and everybody now gets a push notification on the club app to say you've now owed your match fees for the game versus whoever it may be. Somebody pays cash, we can go in there, we can change the amount. Again, paid cash, we're just confirming now. So it may be someone's leaving at the end of the game, forgot the phone and said, here you go, here's my money now, for instance. Again, he's just changed that. Again, so this can be all done. This demo is going a little bit fast, but again, when we go through it in real time, it will be quite understanding for you. Again, he's just deleting payments, changing payments, putting people down as paid cash. These are all the different options and stuff that you can do, you know, because we're going to get it. You are going to get it where someone said, I've left my phone or there's no charge in my phone for whatever reason. Here's my cash. And again, you can just go in and pay it. And that way, when it comes to reporting and things like that, you've got a full understanding of who's paid. Again, so this is what it looks like in the club app. So it tells them right in the middle, there you go, your match fee is not paid. So they can go through and do that. Small little video again, just showing you how they pay it. So this on screen now is the club app, but again, in real time, we'll show you as well. So again, small video. So they're just going into the club app. They can see the payments due in the middle there, as you can see, £10. They're going to go into that and they're going to pay. So as I mentioned before, you can pay by card or Apple Pay. So if you've got Apple Pay, you just put the thumbprint on. If not, you can go in and pay by card. Here you go. So he's going to pay by card. Is Joe who set this up. So here you go. You'll see him put some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the good old sequence we're putting for testing. Put the name on the card, as you normally would do when you're making a card payment, whether it be Amazon or everything else like that. What it also says to you as well, you're going to pay, do you want to save the card details? So you can actually save the card details from the member or the player, and every week you just go back in and it will use it saves it like a token, a cookie. So when it goes back in, they can just say use same card and they can pay it on there as well. You can track the payments using the manager app. So again, tiny video again. You'll see them here. Again, going into the manager app, into the fixture, into the match fees at the bottom. And again, you can see who's paid and who hasn't. So the captain can keep looking every sort of half an hour, see who's paid and who hasn't. Then he can send them another request, or he can shout across the bar, whatever it may be, to say you've not paid, but he can keep tracking them. And they come in real time once they've been paid as well, which obviously really, really helps there. Okay, how to view and track payments made. This can be done, as I say, through the manager app, which you've just seen, or it can be done in the admin dashboard on a desktop. In on desktop doesn't sound right, I'll have to change that. We can use the assignments and transaction pages for greater detail, which I will show you. We can export completed transactions. So again, whatever software you may use, like Sage, QuickBooks, things like that, you can export all the transactions, and then you can import it into your software and things that you use. Something that was released about 2 weeks ago, we've set up an automatic reminder. So say you do your payments on a Saturday morning or Sunday morning, whenever it may be, 72 hours after that was set up, an automatic reminder will go out to those players that haven't paid. So again, you can leave it for 2 or 3 days and send the automatic request out. Then again, if it gets to 5 and 6 days, you can start to go back in and send more requests yourself. They can go in, for instance, if they're short of money or whatever reason it may be, they can save it up. Then when they go in the following week to pay the match fees, there is an option there to be able to pay both sets of match fees at once. So again, you know, everyone's situation and circumstances are completely different, but they can go in, as I say, and pay it 2 weeks worth. So in summary, really, it's quick and easy to set up. You enable Stripe, name and set up your match fee, set the amounts, select your relevant teams. We can track who and hasn't paid. Again, we mentioned your automatic reminder, which is really, really good. And we can use the assignments, transactions for export tools and reporting. So if you've got a couple of people that you think this is beneficial to as well, before we go on to the live demonstration, just to let you know, we will be sending out a copy of this recording to everybody. But if you want a live demonstration and things like that for your club, don't forget Pitch Hero. We're always here to help. So support can be contacted at support@pitchhero.com. You can book a call with your account manager, or if you go onto pitchhero.com, you can book a demo demonstrations and things like that on there. So you can book one. You might think, right, I want one for the club. 4 or 5 of us are going to go on to it. Some of the managers and things like that, because it's really beneficial. We're quite happy to do that for you as well. And again, what happens is it comes up like that. Probably suggest you book around about an hour. It says which day do you want, and it gives you the times that are available. It goes to the appropriate account manager. We can do early evening ones as well, like obviously like I'm doing this one now. I've got one tomorrow to a hockey club. I'm doing a full demonstration too on the match fees. So again, we can do them to clubs and things like that if need be. Okay, so I'm just going to come out of this one now. Oops, let's have a look. And I'm just going to go into the top in a minute when it starts to behave. Oops, I have to move this down slightly. Close that down. We'll go into the admin dashboard and we'll move it straight back up to the top again. Okay, so this is the admin dashboard. Those of you that have seen it before and those of you that haven't, again, don't forget, add questions as you're going along. If there's anything you need, we'll get to it at the end. Okay, so admin dashboard, we're using Pitch Hero Cricket Club because this is our training and test site. If you come down here and click on the left-hand side where it says payment tools, we go into payment providers, and this is where you would set your Stripe account up. So as you can see here, we've got Go Cardless enabled and Stripe. Don't forget, it has to be Stripe that you set up for doing match fees on. So again, you go into there, you'd set up Stripe, you'd follow it through, it'll set your account up with Stripe. Stripe will then email you privately and say, right, these are the different things that we need as well. So you may need, for instance, it might ask if you're a cask or if you're a non-profit organisation or a charity. Because of money laundering and things in today's day and age, it probably will ask you to provide a couple of different documents, but it really, really is that straightforward to set up on there, easy enough to do. Okay, so once that's been set up, everything's through, it will say enabled, as we can see there. What we then do, left-hand side, we click into match fees and we click into dashboard. Now, you can probably see here in the dashboard, there's several sets of match fees that have already been set up. Bear in mind, this is a training site. On the right-hand side, it tells you the revenue you've had and who obviously those that haven't paid as well. So again, that's a good way of understanding. You can go into that and you can have a look at that, those people that haven't paid as well. So again, we can just go in if we need to. I can just click on that and it'll give me the people that haven't paid again. So that's a great way. Okay. On that note as well, if we to go into assignments here, now bear in mind it does send automatic request out after 72 hours, but say they haven't still paid it, I can go into assignments here, I can click request all payments, and that again will send a notification out, a push notification to the club app to say you've still not paid your match fees for the game versus Leeds Winter Team in this case. Can you go in and pay it? If you don't read that push notification, they get sent an email to their email address as well. So again, you know, you're constantly on them to say, please, can you go in and can you pay as well? Okay, so back into dashboard here. And we want to set up a set of match fees. Now, match fees, you can set up as many sets as you like. So it may be you've got a set amount for Saturday games, Sunday games, and a set amount for cup games. One thing to bear in mind, though, you can only tag one team to one set of match fees. You could have all your open age teams or junior teams against one set of match fees, but it can only be against one set. Otherwise, the computer doesn't know what sort of amounts and things to do. So again, you can see here left-hand side, we can see senior match fees, there's no teams click to that. Under 17s, there's no match fees click to that. If I just click into the under 17 match fees there and go into teams, if I click the little dustbin at the side there, it removes them from that team. And again, then I can add the under-17s to say the cup, under-17 cup fixtures and things like that. We can do that. So that's something just to bear in mind, that it does have to be one team per set of match fees. Okay, so I want to set up a new match fees, for instance. Again, add match fees. Anything in green within Pitch Hero is add. Now I'm going to call these, for instance, Monday night test, because it's Monday night and this is a test that we're all showing you. Again, so put the name in, we click next. It now asks us to put the name and the price that we want that person to pay. So I'm going to put here a starter. If you start for my team, it's £10. I'm going to add another option. So I'm going to say, if you're a student and you're playing up, for instance, or whatever it may be, I'm just going to ask you to pay £8. I'm going to also say here, if you're a junior, and again, you're playing up because you're a good player, I'm just going to ask you to pay £5. Again, you can put as many options in as you want. That's completely up to yourself. Again, scroll down. I'm just going to click next. This is what I mentioned before, which teams will now use this. So we can add as many teams as this we want to do, but bear in mind, they're only able to be at one set of match fees at a time. So if I go into add teams, now it'll tell me the ones grayed out are already connected and linked to another set of match fees. But again, I can see the men's first, men's seconds, under 17s, they're not actually connected to anybody. So just for argument's sake, I'm just going to click the men's first and I'm going to click save. Again, it tells me there, I'm going to click next. It asks me to review it, Monday night test, men's first team, it's a card payment as we talked about, and it then gives me those figures. So I'm now going to go finish setup. Okay, so it's nice and easy. So if I come down to the bottom, you can see the Monday night test team. Again, there's no revenue, no good pay because I haven't tagged anybody as yet, but you can see the set of match fees are there. Okay, I'm seeing there's a question coming. I will get to that, as I say, at the end. Okay, where do we go from here? So if you're in the manager app, you go into teams and you go into your team and you go into the fixture, very much like we'll do here in the dashboard. So we're going to teams, we're going to the men's first team. As if by magic, you can see we have a game coming up here against Halifax. That's where I'm sat at the moment in Halifax. So I thought I'd put Halifax in. So again, same in the manager app, same in the dashboard. We click on the fixture. Again, as you've probably seen all this before, you can see all this, for instance, here, your team selections in there if you want to do it. But again, we're just going to go into the match fees. So as you can see here, because there's no team selection or no previous ones, we're going to have to add the players. So again, nice and easy, we go into add the players. On the right-hand side, it comes up with all those players. So if I go, for instance, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's go just by at the bottom. 10 and 11. So again, you can see there, you've picked the 11 players, you've gone through. If it was a name you're looking for at the bottom, you can search for that name for that person. Again, you can put them in. I'm now going to click done. So now what happens is, it brings us to this page. So this now automatically sets everybody at the highest rate. So again, the starter, the £10. So it tells me on the bottom left, I'm expecting £110 in. I can go, for instance, actually, Daniel Greenwood, I know he's a junior and he's playing up. So if I click on his name, click junior, and come out, you can see he's changed to £5. The payment request is now 105. I can look at Joe Bloggs, for instance, here. And I say, actually, he's a student, so he's just going to pay £8. So again, we can see here, he's changed to £8. And again, I'm now expecting £103. So what would happen is, and on a game day, the captain would go into his manager app, he would pick them and select them like this, change them. And as he walks into the changing rooms, he now clicks send on his manager app, which we will show you shortly. And now you can see they've all turned red to say they've all been sent. So 11 beeps in the changing rooms that have now gone. Your match fees versus Halifax on such and such a date are now due and expected to be paid. So they can go into it there and then in the changing rooms before kick-off or whenever it may be, and they can pay their actual match fees. It's as easy as that. As we mentioned before, we can click into them here. And again, on the right-hand side, I can put paid cash, for instance, and I can put notes and stuff in there. So if I click here, paid cash, I can confirm. I can add a note. So I can put here, paid as left club. So again, the treasurer goes in, can say, right, yeah, that one was paid in cash. Again, you've put a note on and the assignment's been updated as well. Okay, so let's just come back out of here now. And again, let's just go back into the actual match fee side of things. And again, if we go into assignments and things like this, we can now see here at the top, hopefully, there you go, Annabella Jacks has paid £10 and we can see. So we can go into that and it now tells me I can edit a note. I can see a note, for instance, so I can go into that if I want to do. And we can see the note there, paid has left the club. Again, so we know what's happening as well. I can go into that set of match fees like we mentioned before at the beginning, into dashboard here. Go down to the bottom and there we go, Monday night test. So I can click on that for argument's sake. And I can now see here as a treasurer or as a webmaster, I can now see here again, only one person's paid so far. And again, if I wanted to do, I could request all payments again. I can filter here, for instance, by who's paid and who's not, and by teams. So say if there was 4 or 5 different teams in there, I can filter by the status and by the team. What you can do, which I mentioned again at the beginning, if you go into the transaction side of things now, you can see all the people that have paid. And at the top, you can see, excuse me, just having a drink. You can see there, it says export transactions. So we can export all the transactions to a CSV or an Excel spreadsheet. And again, you can see then, for instance, all the different payments that have been paid. So this is where hopefully everything will work well. You think in today's day and age is an easy way of sharing your mobile phone. There isn't. So you'll either get a big picture of me, which will scare you all. Hopefully it won't happen. Or you will get, oops, or you will get my mobile phone. There we go. So hopefully you should all be able to see my mobile phone. Okay, so this is the manager app that we've all just been talking about now on my mobile phone. So what we can do, say for instance here, none of the payments have actually been sent out. Again, as we mentioned before, we go into the fixture, we go into the match fee, and again, we can see here on the manager app, we can see now that Annabelle Jacks has paid the £10. For instance, we can look at Jeff. So Jeff's just given me £10 as well as his left. I can click in the manager app. I can click him, click pay cash. And again, I can confirm. And again, if I go back into him on the manager app, if I wanted to do, I can add a note, but I can now see that that's been paid. Again, makes life a lot easier. We can keep going through as well. Joe's there, for instance, but actually I got him wrong. Joe's a student, so I can change that. And again, the assignment's updated. And when he goes into his actual club app to pay, it will be in there that it's actually now being changed as well. So we can see that as well. So you can keep going back in. You can look here, for instance, to see who's paid and who hasn't paid. And again, that makes life that much easier for you. Okay, come out of there and we'll now go into the club app. Okay. So this is a club app. I've been tagged in match fees, so this should just update. Give it a moment. I'm just going to come out of that one and just log back in again. Sod's law, isn't it, when you're testing? So we're back into Picture Hero Cricket Club, which is our test. There we go, it's refreshed, fantastic. So you can see there in the middle of a screen, it says your match fees. So again, it's £10, it tells me it's not paid and I can view it. We've put match fees there in the middle. So again, it's a way people can't get away without paying. They can always, when they go in, they can see it. If they were, for instance, didn't pay last week, it would say your match fees are £20 or whatever it may be. When they click view and hit view there, it would say these are your match fees that are due. So it says there Halifax, and again below it it'd say, you know, whoever you've played, that's due as well. So again, nice and easy. You can go in, like we've said, by paying by card. So again, you can go in and obviously it finds my card. That's actually linked into my phone, so I don't want to pay that. But again, you can look at pay, for instance, as well with Apple Pay. You can then go into it and then pay. Once that's done, again, that's all being paid as well. Also in the club app as well, if I click the shopping basket as well, it will go in there and tell you what's outstanding and things like that as well in there. So anything else that you've been told to is outstanding. You can also look in other places as well. So if you look at your account there, you can see there, you can see obviously there my Make Believe Kids, Billy and Felix, for instance, but you can see there my match fees, Billy's match fees, Felix's match fees. So there's several places on the actual club app that they can go into. So again, if I go into my match fees, again, that's a screen it takes you back to again. So there's all sorts of different ways again. So there's no excuse of people saying, no, I didn't see it, I've not had it, or whatever it may be. But again, it is that easy. So they can go into the manager app, they can set up the fees straight away, send them out there and then in the changing room, 11 beeps, and they then go through and they then pay it as well. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the shop and payment side of match fees. Again, it's there for you. You can do it in the PC or the laptop. And again, you can do it as well within your manager app as well and come across. So what we'll do now, we'll go through some try and put my teeth in some match questions and things like this. So again, if you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to start putting them down. But Joe sent one in here. I used match fees all last season, but would like to be able to export a list of those that haven't paid so I can send the info to the cricket chair. Is that going to be possible? Great question, Joe. As far as I'm aware, no, but I think it's a great question. I will speak to the developers. I've got a meeting with the developers this week, so I'll mention it as well, see if it's possible to do an export of those, because I suppose we didn't really think about that, you know, those who haven't paid. We've put that many sort of tools and things in place to chase people and make sure they pay it. But again, no, it's a good option, and I'll chase it for you. And as I say, Joe, if you just drop me an email, Joe, to d.ingham, that's INGHAM @pitchhero.com. Just drop me an email about that. Just remind me, and I'll come back to you when I've got some answers on that for you. Because again, that's a great question. Okay, so any more questions? Again, if you've got any question, please don't hesitate to get typing. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing when people are not asking questions, or if I've gone through everybody's options of what they want to talk about. But as I say, I will give you, you know, a good few minutes to think about questions, see what you want to do and try and help where I can. And again, you know, if you're not sure about it, you know, try and do it, you know, just with one team, for instance, you know, just try, right, we're going to try it in the third team this week, or we're going to try it with the Colts or the juniors or whatever it may be. You know, it's always something, you know, just to discuss and have a chat, really. Okay, let's have a look. Somebody's put a question in chat. What are the charges for using this? Okay, so great question. Now, depending on what package you're on, so if you're on the middle package, that's the elite package, it's 3.3% plus 20 pence per transaction. So if you're using, say, £10, 3.3% of that, I think it's 33p, plus a 20 pence will be 53p per transaction you get with it as well. If you're on the ultimate package, which is the top package, your transaction rates drop by a full 1%. So it comes down to 2.3% plus 20 pence. Now, people sort of say, oh, we'll carry on doing it as we are because we don't have to pay anything. Appreciate that. But again, what this gives you, the flexibility, the ease, how long does people have to tick off bank statements, things like that, and chase people who's paid and who hasn't paid. Again, you know, that's one of the things that you've got to do. And I think you've got to sort of weigh it up, really. and the benefits you get, as you can see, obviously, all the reporting tools, the ease, MetLife, straightforward for you. And again, you're not handling cash. Again, hopefully that's a good sign. I've only had a couple of questions really, so hopefully, as I say, that is a good sign. I'll just give you another minute or so. You've probably listened to my dulcet tones for long enough now. But as I say, it's normally the case. As soon as you get off, you'll think, oh no, I had a question for it. So remember, it's support@pitchhero.com. I recognise some of the names well that are on, so I think a lot of you have probably heard from me or dealt with me in the past as well. So again, either get in touch with your account manager, get in touch with support if there's a question that you forget or you want to ask, or again, you want to do something like this to maybe your committee or to 4 or 5 different coaches and get them using it and do some training and stuff. We're more than happy to do stuff like that with you. I think that must be it then. I think obviously we've sort of had enough time, should I say now, for people to ask any questions. There's nothing coming through. As I say, thank you very much indeed for your time on this Monday evening. I don't know about where you all are. We're in Halifax and we've still got snow. Hopefully it's avoided a lot of you, and obviously no hassle and things of getting to work. But again, thank you very much indeed for your time. And as I say, if you need us, just give us a shout. Thank you very much indeed. Take care, everybody. Oh, hang on, something's just come in just in time. Kate, thank you very much indeed. No problem at all. All right. Cheers, guys. You all take care. Bye-bye.